scarves, like I started, most of these were my collection, but as we opened up and people saw the soccer theme here, people drop off scarves every weekend.
Oh, wow.
So now I've been collecting them in the back. I'm going to have to build a whole nother tier, and we're just going to keep adding them.
I like that.
Yeah.
We're going to have the exchange scarf there.
Yeah, you got to throw one up.
Well, I even said maybe an exchange beer at some point.
We can. Hey, there's an idea.
Guys, we are here on the exchange. It's opening day. I'm fired up. Actually, yesterday was opening day. We had a lot of good games. I'm a little fired up. This is the one I've been waiting for. Obviously, we've both been waiting for. We're at a different location today. It's a vibe back here. Southward Network. You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, cool. I'm Mark Costa. I own and brew here at Varitage Brew Works. We're a new, really cool soccer-centric brewery based in Bloomfield, New Jersey.
Listen, man, I'm all fired up. But what brings us here? I mean, he told me that there was a vibe coming, and I had to come here and set this up. So I listened to South Ward. I showed up here. You can kind of tell us what's happening like today here?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, when we launched the brewery, we always wanted to have like a soccer kind of vibe going on here. I grew up playing soccer in North Jersey. I played my college ball up at Caldwell University, right up Bloomfield Ave here. And I grew up going to Portuguese restaurants down north with my dad watching soccer on the weekends. So it was just natural for me to design the brewery like a European cafe/brewery with a soccer vibe. So once we got that going, we have all the matches on during the weekend, everything from English Premier League to now MLS, a lot of the Portuguese matches too, international friendlies. Just started mingling with other soccer fans here, and then I met a couple of the guys from Torcida, and we started shooting shit about maybe doing a cool collaboration. And I was like, I'll make you guys a beer. And they're like, wait, what? And I'm like, yeah. Like, come down. Like, I'm going to brew it on this day. So a bunch of the guys came down, joined me on the brew deck, and we made a really nice German Kolsch that we're going to have on tap here all season long. So we just started building on that relationship even more. We want to really build a soccer culture here in Bloomfield and have a hub for a lot of Red Bulls fans to come and enjoy the game with other Red Bulls fans. So that's where this beer was born. This will always be on tap here all season long. And you see the setup behind me. This is going to be the setup for every away match. Obviously, home matches, we're going to be down in Harrison together. So,
so you go. You're a regular?
Yeah, I'm not a regular, but I have
a regular. Yeah, Red Bull. We got to get him.
Tickets,
right?
I got a little boy at home. He kind of keeps me busy, but I'll be there for the home opener for sure.
Nice. I have a question about the name, Varitage. Where did it come from?
So it's trademarking in beer is impossible. Federal government recognizes breweries, distilleries, and wineries under the same umbrella. So you couldn't have a name that crosses any realm, pretty much. So I had to literally make up my own word. So I took the word variety and the word heritage and made Varitage. So it celebrates my culture, right? So my family is from Azores, Portugal, and then my mom's side is from Italy. So I grew up in Nutley, very Italian household. So I wanted to mesh, that culture and my Portuguese culture, and then also growing up here in Jersey. So it's just a celebration of our heritages.
Soccer in Jersey is huge.
Yeah.
We've had so many people come in and out. We've been blessed enough to have Giuseppe Rossi on. But soccer here in Jersey is ginormous. You coach a high school team too, right?
Yeah, so brewing kind of brought me back to the game. After college, I was away from the game for a while. I had to go on and get a real job, you know what I mean? So I was working in digital advertising for about a decade. And then when my home brewing really kicked into second gear, I was like, I want to brew professionally. This is what I want to do. So I left my job in Manhattan. I started brewing professionally in Jersey. But then that opened up other doors. And my buddy, who I grew up playing soccer with, he's slinging beers behind the bar right now, Joey. His dad and my dad were our coaches growing up playing North Jersey youth soccer.
That's great. That's sick.
So he actually was on the staff at Belleville High School. And he was like, hey, do you want to come coach with me? And I'm like, I'll be there. So this is going to be my 4th season coaching at Belleville High School. So now I just brew beer and coach soccer, and that's what my life is.
That's awesome.
That's
awesome.
Yeah, talk to me a little bit about the coaching side, because, you can't stay away from the game.
No. It was like I never left. But, building the brewery, it really tested you. It took us 3 years to build this place. There were days where I thought it wasn't going to happen after we dumped a ton of money on equipment, dealt with corporate landlords, and almost lost our space a couple times. Going through the red tape with the laws and the state and whatnot. So like being back on the soccer field like kept me sane and like found my love of the game again. You know what I mean? Like being out in the field, like lacing up the boots and like kicking around with the kids. It was like, all right, I'm back. Like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm on this path for a reason. And soccer was such a huge part of it, and I didn't realize that. Because I've been away from the game for so long. But now that I'm coaching and now that I'm brewing, I kind of clash the two worlds, and that's kind of what you're seeing now.
It's kind of cool, because you're literally mixing two passions.
Yeah.
And you're doing a great job at it.
Right. I mean, soccer and beer go hand in hand. Like, come on.
The right beer.
Right. It's got to be the right beer.
The right beer.
Yeah.
So, I see all the scarves back there.
Yeah.
From everywhere. You want to just run through your teams, maybe?
Yeah. So I'm a Man United guy.
That's nice.
Yeah. Been to Old Trafford. It's awesome. Then also you got to respect the Portuguese blood. So I'm a Benfiquista, Benfica all the way, and then Rebels. I just kind of root for the home team now. So
we're local. We always pushing that.
Yeah. But it's cool with the scarves. Like I started most of these were my collection. But as we opened up and people saw the soccer theme here, people drop off scarves every weekend.
Oh, wow.
So now I've been collecting them in the back. I'm going to have to build a whole nother tier, and we're just going to keep adding them.
I like that.
Yeah.
We're going to have the exchange scarf there.
Yeah, you got to throw one up.
Well, I even said maybe an exchange beer at some point.
We can. Hey, there's an idea.
Speaking into the future right now.
Yeah.
Well, I noticed the scarf, but I also noticed the roof back there. What can you talk to us about?
Yeah, sure. So right above us, there's a picture of the bar that's in our town in Azores. I wanted to kind of bring the whole stone face and the tile roofs into the brewery to make it feel like a European touch cafe. And I mean, like I said, I grew up like hanging out down in the Ironbound, and you see those roof tiles over pretty much every bar that you go to.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then even on the tile in front of the bar, you got the Portuguese azules tiles. So that, I don't know if you ever been to Portugalia on Ferry Street, they had their whole bar. So I kind of was like, oh, I love a bar that looks like that. So I did all the design work, and we teamed up with a company in Texas. So little custom touches of the old country in here.
It looks great. What are your thoughts?
Oh, listen, man. Yesterday I was here. I was fortunate enough yesterday to come here, and first and foremost, I texted him that I was here. He showed up 5 minutes later, which was huge, and I said to him I couldn't thank him enough. But I got to see this place empty, and it's amazing. I just moved to the town, so I'm not really up on everything that's happening. But I hear that it's an up-and-coming town, and if this is what the up-and-coming is, this is absolutely amazing for this town.
And I'm pretty excited. I mean, I felt the vibe just walking in.
Yeah.
So I think you've done an amazing job.
Yeah, thanks, man.
So our thing, we're obviously the exchange, but our big question that we ask everybody that's on, if you can exchange a shirt with somebody. But I'm now thinking, I'm like, there's two teams that I got to ask you who you can exchange with. It's got to be United,
right,
and Red Bull.
Oh, maybe Portugal too.
All right, so we'll say three, and it can't be Ronaldo. It can't be Cristiano. It can't be Sue. Because that's like the most. Like even Leo Messi wants to change with him, right?
Well, would it be Ronaldo?
Of course.
100%.
I mean, he's like a saint in this place, right? It would be sacrilegious if I said no to Ronaldo.
But a second option then.
Second option.
Portuguese second option.
Like current player or?
Either.
Historical, yeah, it could be
all right.
Older generation.
So I would go, it would be a close tie, like between Rui Costa and Figu.
What a great guy.
Okay. I did Rui Costa. I love Costa.
Yeah.
Man.
Remember with in the Serie A,
Of course.
the game
I got the
with
photo with him and Materazzi sitting there looking at the fire.
Yeah.
Sick. What about, who do we say, United?
United. Maybe Giggs.
Yes, no one.
Well, let me ask you, what was your playing position when you were in college?
So in college I was a striker and I played outside mid. High school I was like a CDM.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I see the gigs here, like midfield,
Right.
touch,
Yeah. See the whole field.
the vision.
Yeah.
Okay. And then which one you said? Rebels, of course.
All right. Let's go Tolkien.
Fan favorite.
Dude, he might be
Shot
changing
him's back.
jerseys,
Yeah, so that's the thing, like following kind of the Red Bull storyline for the year. Like, is he going to be here during summer transfer? Or like?
At media day, obviously everybody asked. I asked too, and not that he danced around it, but he kind of told us like it's something that he wants.
Yeah, it's going to happen. I mean, it's inevitable.
Where would you want to see him? Benfica.
I don't think it would be Benfica. It might be like the Bundesliga. I could see him there just because of the style of play.
Yeah, Dan said that too.
It's kind of his style. Like I think Premier League's a little too physical for him, but I think he could do well, kind of running up the flank in the Bundesliga.
That's awesome.
Have you been going to games prior to this, Metros?
Yeah, I mean, like I was in the youth soccer program in '96 when they launched. Okay. So I was a youth soccer player then. You know how hard these organizations pull for the youth. So we were always at the game at Giant Stadium. I won't say
Giant Stadium, yeah.
Back
Did you see them at Giant Stadium?
No, I never got a chance.
Really?
I never got a chance.
Yeah, we're a little old.
Yeah. No, but
wait.
this is.
Oh yeah, like that was it.
Yeah,
that was a vibe.
Yeah.
You know what the worst part is? I mean, it was a vibe when they were like the Metro, but when they turned into Red Bull and people weren't showing, you could see that people weren't showing.
Right.
Like, because it was so big that it looked so much worse than it did.
Right. Well, I still think they're gaining the fan base back. Like, I'll admit it right now. Like, I was gone for a long time, and I just recently came back in the past couple of years.
Me too.
Like, that whole move kind of turned me off, and like the corporate aspect of it kind of turned me off a little bit. And I was following like Seattle Sounders for a while. I was talking to you about this.
About them yesterday.
It was an awesome club.
Yesterday too.
Good team.
Yeah, but I watched the Sounders because they would play at like 10:30 at night. Like everyone was sleeping. Don't bother me. Like I'm gonna watch a quality game here, you know. And the club, like they did a really great job with the club out in Seattle. We saw all the new facilities that they just built. It's gorgeous. I hope it translates here. But with the Rebels, I think they're still trying to gain some of that fan base back, and that's kind of what my hope here is developing that like grassroots, homegrown kind of hub. Like, hey, like let's watch soccer together. Let's talk about the past and see what's going on in the future and what direction the Red Bull's going in now.
Yeah, and it feels like this year everything's coming together. Like even being here, we want to see more of that. We want to see people connect to different things.
Right.
And whether it's through beers, through the sport, through people like you, I think that's a good start.
It's all the storytelling behind it. People love stories. And I mean, you watch any soccer like documentary, even like FC Richmond, right? Like that whole vibe is just like it's the entire town, it's the community, it's everything. It's a storyline, right? I feel like that's kind of missing here. Like the one thing with the whole Apple TV move that kind of bothers me is like bring Kanji back. Where's, you know what I mean? Like just keep him there for every game. Like, I think that's kind of the piece that is still missing.
I was worried about the Apple TV thing. Because I'm like, for a group of people who are trying to make this game bigger, it should be on a station where everybody has it, per se.
Right.
But guys, no sport is on anything you can watch anymore.
Right.
That's true.
So you have to, it's still keeping up with the times. Like, I guarantee to watch the NFL, you guys are logged into something.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, it has to happen this way, and then they have to pay Messi his nut, which is crazy.
Right.
But, I mean, when this is over, I would hope that they have a big enough fan base where they could bring it back to a regular.
Right, and I don't mind Apple TV because now we're watching Toronto and Cincinnati right now. You're catching every game.
Exactly. There's no blackout.
So that part I like. The no blackout thing I like.
But we need Steve.
We need Kanji back. You know what I mean? Yeah. Steve, if you're listening, please come back.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. He said that if the team starts winning, he'll do more and more Rebel games. So let's start with today.
That'd be nice.
So what are you thinking for the Red Bulls? Did you follow them last year? You
Yes.
said you just got back into it, so you were last year.
Yeah, I was back last.
I myself, I got back into it. I watched almost every home game with him in person.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, even Miami, all of them, right?
Yeah.
Almost every game.
Yeah. Almost every game.
So I just got back, but I got back. So we're in the hobby.
Okay.
And I one day was behind the stadium getting some autographs, and I saw Kyle Duncan come out, and he pulled over and he like greeted a ton of fans that were there, taking pictures, showing love, and I went over with my cards, and then it turned out he didn't have his own cards, so I gave him a bunch of his cards.
Right.
And the thing was, he was going to give me back a jersey. That was the trade. A year passed. Yeah, that was the exchange. So year passed. We finally catch up. He gives me the jersey. I give him the cards. It's all love. Now him, I'm going to bat for him for the rest of the way. but that's because I got a different experience.
Right.
Which I think the players, we're trying to shed that light on the players. Like, you need to know that these people live amongst you.
Yeah.
Like, they're your neighbor, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're probably using the same gas station as you. Like, we should be going to bat for the guys that are with us.
Sure, yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, you told me that you have some players that live by you.
Yeah, so some of the Gotham FC ladies, they live upstairs. So they popped in here before, got some scarves up there. Yeah. Well, they're out training now.
They're in Colombia.
Yeah, they're in Colombia. So I haven't seen them in a bit. But during the off season, I got to sit down with them, and like, how awesome is that? You know,
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So you start to root for them, right?
Right. So the crazy thing is, like, you guys play, you FIFA guys, like FC 24 or whatever, right? So now they have all the women integrated in it, which is awesome. So like, I ripped a pack, and I got McCall, who lives upstairs. And I was like, dude, she's on my team in FIFA, and I sold her one of my beers. Like, this is just a wild, like, kind of connection now.
It's so close.
Yeah. Sure, yeah. Well, like, back to the point of, like, community and building the culture. Like, people on the ground, grassroots. You know, we need to build that. So, yeah.
So what brought you back?
What brought me back? I think, like, being involved with the kids again, being a coach in New Jersey, being around Jersey soccer, and then opening the brewery. It's like, you know, I close at 10 o'clock. I can't be opening for the 5 Seattle Sounder fans in Jersey. You know? But no, and then just going back to the arena for the first time past couple of years. So my birthday always falls around home opening weekend.
Oh, so we got an early birthday or we got a late birthday?
So I'm March 6th.
Okay.
Yeah.
March 14th, by the way. So
Okay.
Celebrate.
Yeah, so my wife and I usually, you know, would go to a game. So we went last year for my birthday. We're going this year for my birthday too. So just being back and like being on the ground, owning a soccer joint, like I just kind of felt like I needed to come back home. So I'm here.
What would you say you want Varitage to be in the next couple of years?
So a lot of people ask me like, are you going to expand? Are you going to get bigger? And like, not really. Like I'm really happy with being our neighborhood brewery. You know what I mean? Like seeing familiar faces every day. And like now, even when I go out to restaurants and bars and like go for walks with my dog and my son and my wife, and people recognize me and say hi to me, like that's the vibe that I like. And that's kind of what I want Varitage to be. Like somebody's home base, like a brewery. Kind of like a Cheers kind of thing, right? Like everybody knows their name when they walk in here.
And I think we miss that sometimes, right? Like,
yeah.
We miss that connection sometimes.
Yeah. I always say that. I always feel like there should always be more of a connection to anything that's around you. You know how I am about that kind of stuff. But I think that you got it. You know, I think like I'm seeing like kids here.
Yeah.
I told my lady to bring my kid. I was like, you know, if you and Lane should come down, maybe. She's like, oh, but you're gonna be doing this and that. So today didn't, but I know that I'll definitely come back.
Right.
You know, and I'm ready for a vibe. I'm ready for a vibe.
I think I'm gonna be coming back for away games.
Awesome. Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah. So this is what it's gonna look like every away game for all season.
What about Euros and stuff like that?
Yep. So we have a contract with the cinema company, Backyard Cinemas. They're in town too, another Bloomfield company. They have all different size projectors. So we already went through the schedule. So every away game except for St. Patrick's Day weekend, we're going to be here. And then Euros, Copa America, Champions League final, and then kind of ramping up to the World Cup where I take over the whole block. I gotta figure that out. I'm going to shut down this whole street.
I love it. I dig it. Bro, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Any closing statements?
I just want to, like, for the people that are around the area, what's the closest, like, either for public transportation or just by car? What's the best way to get here?
Sure. So we have a train station right here that you could throw and hit a rock. That's New Jersey Transit. That goes direct into Hoboken and New York Penn. So it's super easy to get here. Garden State Parkway exits right here. I think that's 149. And then if you're Essex County, Bloomfield Ave, just drive, and then it's one turn off of Bloomfield Ave. So we're right, Bloomfield Ave's right here. It's on the corner. It's one of the busiest corners in Essex County right there. So we're in the heart of it right here.
Perfect. Bro, this was dope.
Yeah, this is fun.
Excited to see this game.
Yeah.
Maybe we can try to do this again when there's less people here. We can walk around the place.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
But dude, thank you so much for having us.
Cool. Anytime, man. Yeah, thanks. Nice to meet you
I
guys.
gotta get your prediction for today's game.
All right.
You won't be judged on
Yeah, we
this.
almost forgot about this. Yeah, we can't. Listen, you got to be careful. What I'm hearing that these ultras are like the most bonkers ones. Somebody was like that. The Torcida are like the ones that.
Yeah. Well, they're trying to reframe and rebrand, but we all know
Yeah,
where,
I love
where the
it.
root
I
is
love it.
from.
I love it.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
all about the black sheep. I'm
Yeah,
all about
yeah,
it.
yeah. All right, so prediction 3-2 Red Bull.
I like it. I
High
like
scoring
it.
banger.
Yeah.
Any scores?
Who are the scorers? Come on.
Forsberg gets first one. Who else? Van Zier maybe knocks one in.
I like that.
Yeah, it'll be like a Van Nistelrooy goal, like right off the touchline. Yeah, I think that'll be him. And who gets the third? Let's give it JMI. All right, Tolkien, come on, man.
Oh boy.
A free kick?
Yeah,
No penalties, just free kick.
yeah.
All right, cool. Bro, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me,
I think we're going to wrap this up. I want the beer, man. Let's go get the beer.
Let's go drink.
All right, man.
All right.